Machigni nya kuna mugajong chendroni marka gi kacha nyinga en James Opondo. Kuku martenda dondo bura mar UDA ngado gi dola chiel mar golo Rigathi Gachagua lemo mar jalupo gai mar UDA kendo lemo mare omi jalup jatend piny manyien Profesa Kithure Kindiki okang' makamano obiro bang' ka Gachagua nyocha othichi oko e apisi kendo lemo mare okaw gi Kindiki koloso log tich mar UDA bang' ka okomno ayanga Kindiki opuoyo gwelo mare e lemo no ka osingo mar biro neno ni oriwo oganda jo Kenya kendo tego duond bura mar UDA e gwenge duto mathurka kalore kod chike mag duond bura jalup jatend UDA nyaka be jalup jatend piny kalore ni en e duond bura ma oloso piny owacho.
His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua is unable to perform the duties of the office of the Deputy Party Leader and subsequently ceases to hold office as Deputy Party Leader. The National Executive Committee now resolves to designate His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki, EGH, as the Deputy Party Leader of the United Democratic Alliance Party effective immediately.
We will all take direction and leadership from our party leader, who is the vision carrier of our administration and who right now is in the steering of our party even as we march into the future. The last thing that I want to say is that even as we look at building unity in the party and unity in our nation, I want to communicate or assure that a united country, the unity of Kenya, is not a threat to the segments that constitute Kenya.
Doho ochoro mbele odiochieng' winjo bura makwedo winjruok mamiyo thuolo kambi mar Adani kao ting' mar paw ndeke maduong' ma Jomo Kenyatta International Airport kata JKIA kaluwore ni jayal bura mawinjo buche ariyo makwedo chenro no ne onge kaluwore kod ler mar doho ogolo bura mane omaki kod jotich paw ndeke kaw ibiro winji tarik 27 dwe ni ka bura machielo momaki kod riwruok mar okinde e pacho ka LSK ibiro winji tarik 17 dwe ni chik makumo winjruok makamano to pod biro tiyo nyaka chop doho winj mang'ad buchego ka giloso bang' chor nyime buche jatend duond bura mar Wiper Kalonzo Musyoka kod nyawadgi mar DAP Eugene Wamalwa onyiso piny owacho mondo owere gi winjruok gi Adani.
We think this matter is of critical importance. We are dealing with a critical infrastructure which touches on the national security and the well-being of a nation state called Kenya. We have said before we have no problem with the investors coming to the country, but the way this Adani deal has been crafted, it has all the trappings of what one would call a state capture.
Shall be seeking consolidation of these cases. Means that Adani will not still do anything until these matters are heard and determined. So that is the assurance we want to give. But also thank Bwana Ndiema and his officials for standing with the workers, for fighting for our fellow Kenyans who are at risk of losing their livelihoods under the Adani deal.
We have said not once, not twice, that it's not a good deal for this country. It is not a good deal for workers. It's not a good deal for the sector, that is the aviation sector in totality. We are more than convinced that Kenya Airports Authority is financially able to fund its own expansion and modernization.
Governors mawuok nyandwat mar piny Kenya yuago deko mar pok mar omenda kowuok e agulu maduong' mar omenda ma pacho ka jakom riwruog governors go Mohamud Ali wacho ni governors onge kod omenda mar tayo chenro mag counties ka koro gikwayo migawo mar omenda mondo mi counties omenda mapiyo kapok chenro mag counties okethore.
Our plea, especially to the Commission on Revenue Allocation, kindly consider that we are playing catch-up. The development is not equal, and all we are demanding is that for us to have equal development with the other regions of Kenya, more resources have to be allocated to the frontier counties.
All those mini solar projects are now dead just because of lack of maintenance by Kenya Power and Lighting Company, and we are calling upon the Minister of Energy to urgently address this issue, these wrangles between the REREC and the Kenya Power and Lighting, so that we also get the so-called digital economy, so that our youth can be empowered, so that we can emphasize on the issue of IHABs.
The Turkana County, which is just a few kilometers, not even a kilometer away, at least about 500 meters from the main Kenyan hydropower at Lorocon. But we still use a generator, which has really been occasioned by issues of blackout. I think, to me, this is a great injustice, that some parts of the country receive that power.
Jopuonjre ng'wen manomaki odiochieng' manyoro bang' lweny much sikund sekondar ma Shainas kendo kelo tho mar japuonjre achiel dhi timo penj margi mar KCSE e tesend obila ma Gilgil e kaunti ma Nakuru. Jagoro mongirore e migawo mar somo Belio Kipsang wacho ni jopuonjrego biro timo penj e bwo arita mager mar obila e kinde ma gidhi nyime kod timo nonro mar tho mar Vincent Ngugi mane ochuo kod pala gi jopuonjre wetene. Kipsang ne otelo ne chenro mar keyo tese mag penje Nakuru kama ne omedo yango ni kwan mar jopuonjre ma okonyore e kinde ni mar timo penj omedore higa ni.
Assurance by our security teams, our investigative arm, that they have done adequate check. They have apprehended the person who is suspected to have been the one who caused the harm and fatally injured the other student. But this morning, the candidate will do the exam from wherever they are. And thereafter, we shall conclude the process. And I'm sure they will be taken to court in the course of time, maybe even as early as today.
It's also good to report that the students who are involved in those fracas, that was on Saturday night, there were 3 boys, and the one that did the stabbing, all of them have been arrested. We are also managing so that they also, however much we've arrested them, we also make sure that they do their exams also as the legal system takes its place.
Jatend migawo mar somo Julius Ogamba olando ni jarit penj kata japuonjre ma ibiro yudi gi ketho mar kwalo penj biro ting'o msalape kende ma ok sikul kata japuonj maduong'. Koloso bang'e yawo kontena mag penj kar chung' od bura ma Lang'ata, Ogamba olando ni nitie joma osemaki gi kuo mar penj mag KCSE. Kamachielo bende jopuonjre mane oyudi gi simbe e od penj ne omaki kendo ok bi yudo dwoko magi.
Working very hard, you wake up very early, you are there struggling, and then 1 or 2 individuals who have commercialized this exercise give us a bad name. We want to clean this sector. We want this sector to be hygienic. We want us to do the right things, yeah, because it is for posterity. So I want to thank you guys. You're doing a good job, and I want to assure you, like you've been informed, where you face a challenge, please escalate it, because we are there to resolve those challenges. We are willing and able to support, and where we need to escalate it even further, we'll do it, just to ensure that the right thing is done. So thank you so much, and I don't want to take a lot of time. I'm with you. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to support you. But similarly, when you find we find that you've done something wrong, be sure that I will be on the other side.
Sirkal kwa mondo oket maino mar keto okenge madwarore e bero chenro mar kit somo manyien mar CBC ne jopuonjre mabiro riwore kod grade mar 9 higa manyien mondo okony jonyuol bende mondo ikre makare. Jokanyo e sekta mar somo e kaunti ma Busia ka otelegi kod jagoro mar NAT ma Busia Justin Majale wacho ni obedo kod buok ni nyaka sani jonyuol kod jopuonje onge kod chenro mar sirkal ewi gigo madwarore e tayo chenro mar somo mar grade mar 9.
What we are seeing, the problem that is going to happen is just delivering the government to deliver textbooks and learning materials for grade 9 in time so that these teachers can be prepared and do their job.
A challenge that we have faced as we come to the closure of the term is about the designs and textbooks. Designs, we just received designs last week, whereby we release our children going home without a list of textbooks. This was due to delayed release of the designs.
TSC is at the tail end of recruiting another 20,000 teachers on the contract or internship. They are finalizing on conversion of the 46,000 interns into permanent and pensionable. They are doing an assessment of some of our teachers who are still teaching in our primary schools so that they can support at the junior school. So I can affirm that as government, we are preparing ourselves adequately to be able to ensure that now that cycle of competence-based education is adequately concluded. The first cycle having been PP1 and PP2, second cycle being our primary to grade 6, and now our third cycle, which is grade 7, grade 8, grade 9.
Jabicho wito ngimagi e monj ma opogore kaunti mag Samburu kod Isiolo bang' jonjore mag kudhok monjogi kendo kwalo jamni moheo 500 ka olose tesendo bila ma Isiolo e kinde mar keto kenge mochweny mar kedo kod jonjore mag kuo dhok ma kinde ka kinde. Jalup inspekta mar obila Gilbert Masingeli olero ni monj no ne otimore gwenge ma Boji e Dera e kaunti ma Isiolo, Olabule kod Aora ma e Waso e kaunti ma Samburu.
In Bojdare area, a known number of suspected bandits armed with assault rifles invaded Manyata while shooting, and in the process they stole about 250 herds of cattle and 300 goats. NPR, Kenya Police, as to NPR, the officers trailed and recovered all the 300 goats plus 30 cows during the incident, and 2 people lost their lives and 3 others were injured. The injured have been evacuated to Isiolo District Hospital for treatment, while the deceased handed over to their families for burial according to the Muslim rites. In Holapule area, a known number of bandits armed with assault rifles invaded a home and started shooting before stealing 19 herds of cattle. The NPR, the police officers responded and established that 1 man had been fatally shot, while other persons, including NPR officers, sustained gunshot wounds. 2 bandits were fatally shot across River Waso area under Samburu East, and a total of 211 herds of stolen cows recovered. I appeal to the members of the public and those affected to remain calm. The government, we are doing our level best to ensure that we recover those animals, and also those culprits who have done the heinous act be brought into book.